questions.
I'm not going to talk about anything that's alleged. What I will talk about with you, hold on, you asked me a question and I get to answer it. What you asked me, alleged conduct that's part of a pending whistleblower lawsuit that was filed on the eve prior to Emil Bove's hearing today.
I'm not asking
highly
about that
suspicious.
case
Hold on,
specifically.
let me keep going.
Attorney
I would
General
run
Bondi,
through a wall
this is
for
my
Emil
time,
Bove
Mr. Chairman,
and
and I
Todd
would like to
Blanche.
continue with my questions. I have very limited time.
We will follow court orders, Senator. The entire administration will follow court orders. The problem arises in the district courts. All these district courts throughout the country are tying our hands. But here's how we will follow them when we get to the United Supreme Court.
I need to ask
we're winning.
a number of questions.
And so, yes, we're following the orders of the court.
Let me ask my questions.
In a high-stakes Senate hearing that quickly spiraled into a verbal showdown, Attorney General Pam Bondi found herself at the center of a heated confrontation. What was meant to be a routine questioning about DOJ funding turned into an all-out clash as a Democrat senator launched into a tirade, accusing the Trump-era DOJ of chaos, corruption, and outright lawlessness. Before Bondi could even begin answering, she was interrupted, shut down, and overtalked. But Bondi didn't flinch. She fired back, with facts, with composure, and with unshakable resolve. It all started when the senator rattled off a laundry list of accusations, whistleblower complaints, alleged court order violations, and even the firing of a former DOJ attorney. The tone was accusatory from the start, and the question was clear. Would Pam Bondi confirm that her department would follow court orders? Let's dive right in.
Now, to the questions. Yesterday, and I know that Senator Van Hollen raised this issue, a former DOJ attorney filed a protected whistleblower complaint accusing Deputy AG Emil Bove and senior DOJ leadership of defying court orders, including through, quote, lack of candor, deliberate delay, and disinformation, unquote. The complaint also accuses this administration of firing the whistleblower for, quote, telling the truth to the court. These allegations are deeply concerning. Now, I know you said that you can't discuss the case, but can you confirm that you agree that this administration should follow court orders?
We will follow court orders, Senator. The entire administration will follow court orders. The problem arises in the district courts. All these district courts throughout the country are tying our hands. But here's how we will follow them when we get to the United Supreme Court.
I need to ask
we're winning.
A number of questions.
And so, yes, we're following the orders of the court.
Let me ask my questions. Can you confirm you will not allow any conduct like what is alleged to continue at the DOJ?
I'm not going to talk about anything that's alleged. What I will talk about with you, hold on, you asked me a question and I get to answer it. What you asked me, alleged conduct that's part of a pending whistleblower lawsuit that was filed on the eve prior to Emil Bove's hearing today.
I'm not asking about that
suspicious.
Case
hold on, let me keep going.
Attorney
I would
General
run
Bondi,
through a wall for
my
Emil
time,
Bove
Mr. Chairman,
and Todd
I would
Blanche.
like to continue with my questions. I have very limited time. Thank you. I just want you to confirm for this you will not allow conduct like that at the DOJ. Yes or no?
I will always support and defend Emil Bove, and I will defend Todd Blanche. They are two of the finest people I know and two of the ethical
asking about the
people
conduct.
I know.
Let me keep going here. Now, in April, DOJ abruptly terminated over 300 public safety grants that had already gone through a very rigorous and fair and apolitical application process with no explanation. This is funding to investigate and prosecute drug trafficking, to support foster care kids who experienced abuse or neglect, to expand access to forensic exams to prosecute violent crimes like sexual assault. These really senseless cancellations have already forced public safety organizations to cut employees and services. So I want to ask you, when you cut off the community-based violence intervention and prevention initiative funding, were you aware it is used to prevent and reduce violent crime?
Yeah, Senator, you weren't here for that, so I'm going to have to repeat myself. We have cut grants. I think we've cut 6%. But if we have cut a grant that you feel should not be cut, please reach out to me. I will personally look at it. We've turned multiple grants back on. We have an appeal process, but if you want to come to me directly, I would be happy to sit down with you and look
I'm
at that
happy to
and
do
help
that.
you.
I'm
Because,
happy. I appreciate
again, we're
that,
doing
but-
everything we can.
Okay, but let me just ask you, when you cut off the expanding access to sexual assault forensic examination grant, were you aware that that grant helps our authorities prosecute rape and sexual assault?
I have no idea about that specific grant you're talking about. That's why I said, if you want to come sit down with me, I would never cut a grant
I appreciate that.
intentionally
It's
that
very
has
hard
anything
for those
to do.
recipients on the other end across the country.
Can you
to
give me
get a
the
phone
details of
interview.
that grant?
I can absolutely do that, and my staff will get that to you, but those are two critical ones that I just wanted to ask you about today.
Again, we've turned many grants back on and will continue to. If you want to call me and we can discuss them with you.
As the hearing drew to a close, the contrast between the two figures couldn't have been more striking. On one side, a senator clearly more interested in making headlines than hearing answers, rushing through questions, cutting off responses, and weaponizing outrage. On the other side, Pam Bondi. Measured, composed, and unshakable. She didn't just endure the confrontation, she owned it. When questioned about whistleblower allegations, Bondi made it clear that due process and facts, not media spin, would guide her actions. When attacked over grant funding, she didn't deflect or make excuses. She offered accountability, transparency, and a seat at the table. And when challenged on DOJ structure and resources, she stood firm in her legal interpretation while pledging full compliance with the law. But what truly set her apart was her refusal to be bullied. While the senator steamrolled through her own script, Bondi kept her focus on what mattered, protecting victims, defending her team, and ensuring that justice remains fair, not political. If a grant was cut unfairly, reach out to me directly. I'll look into it myself. That wasn't a soundbite. That was leadership. Bondi showed the country what it looks like when facts stand up to fury, and professionalism stands tall in the face of political pressure. She didn't stoop to drama. She didn't raise her voice. She let her actions and her composure speak louder than any speech. In a time when hearings often descend into chaos, Pam Bondi brought clarity, strength, and class. She wasn't just defending the Department of Justice, she was defending the idea that public service should be about truth, not theatrics. And in that room, under that pressure, she didn't just hold her ground, she commanded it. Pam Bondi walked out of that hearing not as a target, but as a testament to what real leadership looks like. In an era where speaking truth is often met with hostility, Pam Bondi showed exactly why leadership demands strength, not submission. If you believe in facts over fiction, truth over theatrics, then like, share, and subscribe for more powerful moments like this. Pam Bondi didn't just survive the hearing, she dominated it.